Hi, I'm Jane Patrick with Schacht Spindle Company, and today I'm going to show you how to warp and weave on the Cricut loom. So the first thing you're going to do is clamp the back of the loom to the table. And then you're going to clamp your warp peg to the other end of the table. This will be as far away as your warp is long. So now I'm going to tie my warp yarn onto my apron bar, and I will center this in my weaving. So if my weaving is 6 inches wide, I will be 3 inches right or left of center. So once I have that tied on with a square knot, I'm going to just bring my threading hook through the slot, and I grab the hook and I take this loop and I put it around the peg. So now I'm going to have 2 threads in that slot, and that's the way it should be. So now I'm going to do the next slot, and you'll notice that my warp yarn is going over the apron bar. And I'm going to draw that loop through. If you have a little tension on it, it'll go through easier. And bring the loop over. And then the next time, the loop is coming under the apron bar, and then I draw it through the slot again. So now I'm going to measure my last thread. I'm just going to cut the end off, and you want enough to tie a knot, and then you tie it nice and secure at the back. Now you're going to cut this loop. Don't worry, some people are afraid to cut this, but you're just going to hold it and clip it. And then do an overhand knot, just loosely. The only purpose of this knot is to prevent it from going through the reed. So now you're ready to wind on the warp. I like to use a sturdy craft paper, like a paper bag works great. So you just insert that. The reason why you use paper is to keep the layers separate. Otherwise, they'll slip down and your warp won't end up even. So I'm going to move this knot down just a little bit. Okay, so when I have about 10 inches up here, I'm going to stop winding the warp, and now I can thread the holes. So I'm going to untie that knot, and then I'm going to take one of the 2 threads, it doesn't matter which one, out of the slot and into the adjacent hole. It doesn't matter which way you go, just as long as you go consistently to the right or to the left. Now that I've threaded all the holes, I'm ready to tie onto the front apron bar. So I'm going to divide about 1-inch groupings in half. I'm going to bring them over the apron bar, and I'm going to go on one side or the other of a cord. I'm going to bring them over the top, around to the outside, and to the center, and I'm going to tie a surgeon's knot around once and twice, and that way it'll hold, but you're able to adjust it later. So you're going to tie all your groupings, and then after they're all tied, you're going to check, make sure the tension is even all the way across, and just as necessary, and then when you're satisfied, just tie a bow tie. And you can adjust this later if you start weaving and you realize one section is looser or tighter. Now you're ready to weave. The Cricut loom has been unclamped from the table, and I've put it right here in this notch against the table, which makes it very comfortable for weaving. So you threaded the loom with the heddle in the neutral position. To weave, you're going to use the up position, and you can see that the holes are up, the hole threads are up, and then the down position where the slot threads are up. I'm going to place my shuttle into the space between the raised and lower threads, put it in at a 45-degree angle, and beat. And then I'm going to put the shuttle through again, beat, and now I'm going to do the lower shed. And that's all there is to it. Now you're weaving. So all the instructions and pattern ideas are included with this loom, and you can find more information on the Blick website.